Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to install Arch Linux in a no-nonsense, straight-to-the-point way. But first, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through from starting the virtual machine to logging in for the first time for how to install Arch Linux. So, let's begin. This should take no more than 20 minutes at maximum. Right, so yeah, we want to select Install Medium. Do that. I'm going to make my screen bigger. This is going to do the usual, hey look, I'm just running the checks in the background. And we're going to begin. It's just doing all the installery based stuff in the background. Just going through and doing what every installer does. It's going to think about it and it's going to go, hey look, magic colors. So we want to do ping on just to make sure it's connected to the internet. And okay. So first off, the first thing we need to do is check to see our drives are actually there. As we can see here, we have SDA at 10 gigs. And that's just the disk, which is correct. So first thing we need to do is do CF disk. And what this is going to do is going to ask, how do you want to format the disk, in what format type. So in this case we're just going to select DOS because it's less than 2 terabytes. If the operating system with the storage medium you're using is more than 2 terabytes, you use GPT, but because mine is less, I'm using DOS. So what we need to do here is we need to set a couple of partitions on the drive. So to begin, we're going to hit enter and then we're going to type 128M. So what that's doing is, and then hit enter, primary. So what we're doing here is we're specifying that dev SDA1 will be the boot partition because it is only 128 megabytes. So we then hit B, select the free space, hit enter, hit primary, and then hit write, and then select write, type in yes, because if you don't, it ain't going to do it. And you'll notice done it because you'll see the partition table has been altered, which means it's done it. Now we can quit. And to check see if it works, do LSB OK. And as we can see here, we have dev STA 1 and 2. 2 is the 9.9 as written, and 1 is 128 megabytes, which is correct. So I just want to confirm that I did do what was necessary. As we can see here, the asterisk by the boot, which means I did that correct. So we're going to clear the screen and move on to the next thing. So we need to write a file system to our drives. So in this case, I'm going to be using ext4 because that is a widely used and accepted and supported file system for Linux. So to do that, hello Luna, how you doing? My cat decided to come say hello. How you doing, Luna? So first off, we're going to do make file system. No, you can't climb on the keyboard, Luna. You can't climb on the keyboard, sweetheart. Make file system .ext4 dev SDA1. No, you can't climb on the desk whilst I'm trying to make a video. I mean, hello, how you doing? And as we can see here, this has worked perfectly because we see done, we see done everywhere as expected. Can I? Hello. Yes, hello. Oh, hello. Hello, Luna. I'm trying to make a video. Hey, Luna. Love you, Luna. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Right, so from the assistance of Luna, we're now going to mount these partitions. No, as we can see there, Luna's like, come on, get on with it. So we will get on with it. So we are going to mount dev STA2 to the mount partition. So to do that, we're going to do mount / dev STA2 to mount. Do you mind not trying to rub your head on the microphone, please? Thank you. And now we need to mount SDA1 to the mount boot partition, but to do that we need to actually make mount boot. So we do make directory /mnt/boot. Once we've done that, we do mount dev SDA1 to /mnt boot. And we'll just do lsblk. And as we can see here, dev SDA1 is at mount boot and SDA2 is at mnt mount, which is good and correct. So now we're going to click back in, clear this. Now we need to actually download and install the operating system. Now, of course, without the assistance of Luna, I'd be able to get this done quickly, but Luna is insistent on saying hello. Come on, come sit on my lap. You can sit on my lap, sweetie. Okay? Okay. See, yeah, you can sit there. You can sit on my lap. So what we're going to use to install the operating system and the necessary firmware, we're going to be using Packstrap. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool that is used to install everything you need. A lot of people that use Arch don't tell, the elitists of Arch don't actually tell you about it, because it takes away from the, oh yeah, it's just, this does everything for you, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Packstrap. We're going to tell it to do it to the mount directory. And then we're going to do base development Linux, because we need Linux to install Linux, and Linux firmware, and we're going to install Vim. That's going to be our text editor. As we can see here, it's currently going through and installing everything. It's going to be downloading 500 megs to install 1.1 gigs. Have you decided you're tired of me now, Luna? I mean, I don't blame you. As we can see here, it's just flying through everything. It's downloaded all 143. Just checking the package integrity of everything. It's installing as expected. Now, when I said, yes, hello, hello, how you doing? No, you can't push the microphone away. Come sit. Sit down, please, Luna. Oh dear. Right. Let me just fix that, because Luna managed to knock my microphone out of the stand whilst I had hold of it, luckily. So as we can see here, this has done image generation successful. This is all fine. This is just saying, I don't know what's going on here, because we don't have any locale settings. But as we can see here, it took 21.56 seconds to do it, to do everything. Well, to get all of these packages and then to install it, and then just took 45 seconds in total, which is insane. So once we've downloaded and installed everything, we need to generate a file system tab to say, hey look, this is where you're going to be putting everything. To do this, we need to do gen file system tab using the option U. Now this is going to use the UUID of the drive and not the drive letter. For instance, if you use the drive letter and install or chuck another drive into your system, it's going to go, hey look, new drive letter, reassign all the drive letters. And then you're not going to know where all the operating system's not going to know where the bootloader is. So that's why I insist you use UUID, just because it means it's going to work. So U, that's going to be /mnt, tell it to go to mnt/etc/fs tab. And as you see here, there was no output at all, which means it has worked. That is good. Sometimes no output means good things. So now we need to actually do some stuff on the operating system itself, not the installer. So first thing we need to do is do arch-root mnt /bin bash. As we can see here, this is no longer red, which means we're now in the operating system itself, not the installer. First two things we need to do, we need to download and install Network Manager and Grub. Grub is the bootloader. Network Manager is the network manager. It's pretty self-explanatory there. So we're going to do Network Manager and Grub. As we can see here, it's a total of 17 megabytes download size and 94 megabytes, MB installed total, because I can't get this to scroll back up, but it's, yeah, MIB means MB. Ooh, sorry about that. No, you've got to stay here, Luna. As much as I love you, climbing about, you just, right now, you've got to stay here. So once we've done that, we need to enable the network manager, because if we don't, we ain't going to have any network capability. So we're going to enable network. So the reason why there is a hello, yes, hello, sweetie. The reason why there's capitalization here and not here for network manager is because now this is going to be a task, not just a name of a package. So that's why it's specifically different here. Hit enter. It's now saying, hey, look, I've created a system link to all of these for this to work as intended, which is good. Next thing we need to do, sorry, I don't have a drink to hand to help. Next thing we need to do, we need to install Grub. Well, yeah, we need to install Grub so, you know, we can actually boot up the operating system and use it. So to do that, we do Grub Install dev sta. As we can see here, that did it with no issues at all. Installed for 32-bit, install finished, no error reported. That is good. Now we need to do some configuration. So we do grub make config o/boot grub.cfg. Hit enter. As we can see here, that did everything as intended. That is good. No errors is good. Error is good. Now we actually need to add a password, because you know, when it comes to actually using the operating system, we need a we need a password for, you know, the sudo account. So in this case, we're just going to go arch and successful. This is only a virtual machine. This will never see the light of the internet after I finish making this video, so I don't need to worry about telling what the password is. So once we've done that, we now need to set the locale of, you know, the keyboard now. Basically what the keyboard's using and all this. Now this will help with software coming in the future, like just software configuration. So it's ideal we get the setup now. It's a requirement of things actually working as intended. So to do that, we do vim, because I used vim. We use vim. If you installed nano, you can use nano, but in this case I installed vim. So we do vim etc/locale.gen, and then we do enter. As we can see here, we have a long list of locale. So I'm going to hit the insert button on the keyboard, scroll all the way down until I find ENUS. There's Dutch, there's EN. English, United States, we're going to be using the UTF-8 standard. We do Control-C, right quit. And as we can see here, there's 512 lines at 1 megabyte written. That's what I want to say there. And that means that has worked. And now we need to generate the locale. We're going to do locale-gen. So locale generate. Generates the locale, says, hey, look, you chose UTF-8 for English US. Hey, I'll accept that. That's good. So now we need to set the locale configuration. So we need to do vim/etc/locale.gen. And then we hit enter. No. I've already done that, so I didn't mean to, I selected the wrong option. So we need to do locale.conf, even locale configuration. And now we need to type the following: lang, so language, equals en underscore us. So we're using the US English with UTF dot UTF-8. Now, if you're using the ISO standard, you type in whatever the ISO standard was here, but in this case, we're just using UTF-8. So we're going to go Control C, colon, right quit. That is done. We now need to give this a host name. To do that, we do vim /etc/host name. And we just call it arch. Do Control C, right quit. Yes. The cat's head, Luna's head, is now getting in the way of the monitors. So I'm just going to move my list to a new place. Now we need to set a time zone. This is important for dates being correct and times being correct, and I'm pretty sure you would like to use your computer with the correct time zone and not 8 hours forward or 3 hours back or whatever combination of misaligned time. So to do that, we need to do ln-sf user share, I hope I spell share correctly, zone. So in my case, I'm in America, New York. Now for for the country, you can then hit tab on a couple letters. So for instance, if I typed en and hit tab, it'll give you all the countries beginning with the N and like choose from, and then anything after that that you choose from. So because there is a time zone in New York in America, that's what I'm choosing in this case. Now it's going to be /etc. Oh, hold up. It's going to be /etc local time. That didn't spit out an error, which means it is good. Now, at this point in time, we're done. That's it. It's all installed. So what we need to do now is just going to type clear, ls be okay. Everything is done as intended. Yes, everything's done as intended. I just want to go through and double check that I did that as intended. That's correct. Install SDA. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's done as intended. So now I'm going to type exit. Just want to make sure I also did that correct here. Yeah. Dev SDA2. Yep, this is all correct. So now all we need to do is just reboot. And that's it. We have installed Arch Linux. It's as simple as that. It's going to be Arch. No, it's not. It's going to be root Arch. And that's it. So we're going to sudo pacman-s to install neofetch even. And yes, it is not even a whole 10th of a MB. Type neofetch, and there we go. This took a total of 18 minutes from start to finish, with my rambly intro and a little bit of rambly throughout, but from start to finish with no bothers at all. So this is how to install a Arch Linux, no thrills, straight to the point Arch Linux. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'd like to thank my patron Ashley for being subscribed over at Patreon, where if you're subscribed you can get access to other content and some other content that I'm going to be planning for the future. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I have been Nick, you have been amazing, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.